talk to you today about abused children and why parents should have license or some type of educational training before they're allowed to procreate. Children who have parents that are incarcerated are 6 times more likely to go to prison themselves before the age of 25. There's $124 billion spent each year for children who are abused. If we could take some of that money and stop the children from being abused and apply it to a licensure for parents, educational training, a survey, something that will at least prepare the parent for what it means to be a caregiver for a child for their entire life, then maybe we could stop some of the abuse. CDC studies suggest that children's maltreatment costs an annual $123 billion a year. That's almost $220 million per day. That's $80 billion for a child, each child, a year. If people are required to obtain a parent license, the abuse and negligence statistics would be significantly reduced. I work with mentally and physically disabled children, some of whom have been severely abused. Some of them were abused before they were even born, leaving them with their mental handicaps and their physical disabilities. I'm here to tell you that I'm sure every one of you has seen a small child running around the store. He seems unwatched. You look over your shoulder for a parent, but there's nobody there. You wonder, where's this child's parent? Children run off from their parents in this store all the time, even when you're watching them. Mistakes happen. But if you're in a grocery store checkout line and you notice a child misbehaving, and you note that the parent responds to the child with inappropriate, harsh anger, it breaks your heart. It makes you wonder, what's this life like at home if the parent is so outraged in public? You need a license to drive a car, go fishing, go hunting, get married, become a doctor, become a teacher, to even be an organ donor. So why not have a license to be a parent, or at least some educational background? I feel that if we're required to obtain a parent's licensure, the abuse and negligence statistics would significantly reduce. As a mother, I feel I have an obligation to stress the importance of harmful effects that bad parenting can have not only on an individual, but a society. Children who are abused will more than likely grow up to abuse others. They have never been taught that abuse is horrible. They think it's a way of life. They think it's a way that things are supposed to be. Being a parent is something that most people long for, want for, try for years, and never succeed. But then there are people who just don't take the precautions necessary. Children that are born in relationships that are one-night stands because people are careless. And then those children are dumped on relatives or thrown into foster homes because the parents are unfit. If we could stop parents from being unfit, if we could stop people from being parents that would be unfit, think of all the children that we can save. In 2012, the DHS found that 686,000 children to be victims of abuse or neglect. Out of that 686, 21,640 children died. According to Administration with Child, Youth, and Family, they found a majority find a majority of the perpetrators of abuse and neglect children, almost 80%, suffered the same abuse and neglect as a child. Wouldn't you like to stop that? Wouldn't you want to stop child abuse altogether? Neglect? One person can do it. One person can start taking one action and cause a snowball effect. Let's set up an educational class. Everybody has had to do a hunter's education course before you can get a hunting license. You had to take driver's ed or at least study the book before you get a driver's license. So why not do a class? Why not have a class set up for parents to take? For everybody to take? Everyone should take these classes. And then have a test. If you pass the test, you get a license. If not, you get a contraceptive. Some type of injection that will last a year. And then you have to retake the test. Have stipulations put in place for people who have children who haven't done the test. Accidents happen, so there should be loopholes and gray areas. But this is something I'm passionate about. Myself, I've been trying for 2 years to have another child. And yet there are people who are unfit to have children themselves that I know personally. They're popping children out like it's nothing and then just giving them away. These children want to be loved. It's a horrible weight to put on a newborn baby, that they should not cry or not have emotion because the parent has a hangover or they're coming down from some drug abuse. And this happens every day. The babies are abused and murdered. Can't we stop this? Will you stand up with me to stop this? To get some type of educational or training put in place or contraceptive to bring down the abuse statistics?